I have accepted that in my lifetime living in Canada, my life does not matter because I will not see the improvements that I wish to see for myself, for my quality of life. But the one positive thing that I keep coming back to is that I can make a difference for my bloodline and for my future kids, right? I want to have kids. I've talked about this many, many times. I think having kids is the entire purpose of life, to reproduce, right? Every single mammal species, without propaganda, they all live, eat, reproduce, and die. That's literally the cycle of life. And humans, for some reason, I mean, we could argue that there's some really evil people in charge of the world, which I do believe there is, and we'll get to in a second. But they've convinced the women that motherhood is basically modern day slavery, and they've convinced the men to just give up, check out, and play video games, get a dog for some companionship, and that's it. And I am very stubborn. I am extremely stubborn. And when I realize that that is the plan that the powers that be, the people in charge of the world that pull the strings, are trying to do, I am so stubborn, I will be the last person to accept that. I'm real stubborn. I will be the last one to go down with that. And so I've tried to flip my mindset the other way around to say, okay, I'm not going to reap the benefits. What can I do about it to give a better chance at life to my future kids? Because that makes me a lot more optimistic. When I look at the state of Canada for myself, I've said it before, the biggest red pill is understanding that the average person in this country is genuinely mentally retarded. I'm not joking. Genuinely retarded up here. 3 brain cells rubbed together. They announced that we are in a recession as of last week. Oh my God, we're in a recession. Who would have thought? If you had 2 brain cells to rub together, you would know we've been in a recession for about a decade. But you people are so retarded, you don't see it. Matter of fact, people are so retarded, and this is such a big red pill, that the majority of people would actually prefer it. They think we're in a great spot. Things have never been better. Things are looking good. And for the longest of time, I thought, it's BS. There's no way these people exist, because the people that I surround myself with do not subscribe to this mentality. We look at things very, very, very differently. But in the last year and a half, 2 years of changing what I do for a living, from playing professional hockey to now in a more creative freelance spot, oh my goodness, these people exist, and you have no idea how many of them exist. They literally exist in the droves. There are so many of them. They are so happy with the way things are going, and they are completely eyes wide shut to you and I. Hopefully you're awake. If not, I don't know why you're watching these videos. But the biggest red pill is just accepting they will not realize it. The majority of people, even when it is too late, will still not realize it, right? Some might. Some are waking up. Most are too retarded and won't. They've been dulled and they've been softened, right? The amount of distractions, like you think of right here where I am. Now, I'm visiting some family in Winnipeg. And again, if you have family, spend as much time as you can with them, because one day that will be gone and you'll love the luxury of it. I'm trying to remind myself of that. Take care of your family, spend time with them. But for where I am here recording this video in Winnipeg, if I walked any direction in the next 2 kilometers, how many fast food places will I find? Weed stores, liquor stores, vape shops, places that I can get video games, right? There is so many distractions to numb, dull, and just completely dullify the men, right? And I've said it before, you can't spell menace without the word men. Men need to be menacing. And if you look around and you open your eyes and you see how fat, how soft, how most men are shaped like fresh mozzarella, it's very disheartening that like this is the way things are going, right? The Indians are going to continue to come in. They're going to find new ways to spin it off, right? We had a labor shortage, bring them all in, work at Tim Hortons, Canadian Tire, aka Punjab Tire, and now our Prime Minister, who I do believe is just a middleman. We'll get to that in a second. But we're going to bring in some Indian students. We need AI students. We're going to build data centers, right? We're going to be an AI hub. This is the mentality, or at least the narrative they've tried to spin. And another red pill too, that a lot of the conservatives don't seem to come to, is that if we could just get the conservatives in, if you can get PP, Pierre Poilievre, my PP, my Pierre Poilievre in the office, it's going to make things better. And I hate to be the bad news bears. I love the idea. If we can it's bullshit. All right, I'm going to kill all your hopes and dreams right now. Pierre's donors need the money system to continue to expand. They all need it, right? Every one of our problems come back to the money system expanding, the fiat-based currency debt Ponzi, where they come up with a new narrative, a new programming to justify the expansion of the money supply. So in the last 10 years, they have doubled the amount of money in Canada. I think it was 1.4 trillion, and now it's like 2.9 trillion dollars in existence. And if you're not familiar, they print the money, they give it to the banks, they give it out to the people, or the government gives it out to the people. There is no inflation. Eventually, these people spend it on the assets that matter most. Like, if you remember during the scamdemic, everybody was all excited. We get $2,000, yay. Think of how much money printing they did in that time during the scamdemic to give you out your $2,000 CERB check. And when they did, what was the first thing everybody did? They went and spent it on Amazon, Dior, Gucci, Louis Vuitton. They spent it on all the big players, right? It all went back to them. And then you look at the stock prices of everything since then, they all went up. The TSX has gone up 120% in the last 5 years. The average Canadian wage has gone up, I think, 13. Are you seeing what I'm putting down here? And then with the situation with Pierre, he's not doing mass deportations. We need mass deportations and re-immigration, as Daniel at the Dominion Society likes to preach, and he's a lot more experienced on that, knowledgeable. He does some great work. Love Daniel at the Dominion Society. But you're never going to see mass deportations in this country ever, and these third world thugs, these immigrants, these migrants taken out. Right? They're going to continue leeching off the system. They're going to continue being exploited for cheap labor. They're going to continue to replace you. And as the birth rates, as low as they are, as they continue to drop, the immigration is going to only ramp up to offset that, because it's the only way to keep the debt-based Ponzi scheme going.